But I want to ask you a little bit, not that, no, not insulting you, Ewok, but not that you necessarily were able to decipher every single thing in the PulseChain updates, as it was mainly dev speak. But, you hit me up first on Twitter last night, and then I saw everybody I know that likes Hex tweeting about it last night. But the actual PulseChain update that came through that Telegram group, and then Richard tweeted it himself pretty much verbatim. And then he even expanded on it a little bit and kind of said it in his own words to a degree, and broke it down. So, yeah, give me a synopsis of this whole thing, since you pay more attention to it than I do. And, what do you make of it, and what are your thoughts on
it? Well, long and short, the chain is syncing. It is downloading. It's gotta download the entire chain before it can go live. Then once it does, it uses other systems to maintain the state. So when somebody else were to go in and download it, there are much faster ways. What's the program that the pirate, it used to be on Pirate Bay? It's I forget what it's even called. I wasn't really, you know what I'm talking about?
I've never used a Pirate Bay, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Anyway, you're right. So it's the system that all the computers share a little bit. It's almost like Napster and BearShare and all those things were in modern day. So everybody stores a little bit on their computer, so that there's not one centralized location storing the data. So you could really never turn it off. I forget what it's called, but either way. But anyway, the chain is syncing for V3. They've got all kind of redundancies built into there. There's other systems that are running. Again, I'm not a dev. I just kind of read and listen to what other people are saying.
I bet you wish you were a dev right now.
Well, I do. I do. I could have probably jumped on the team and helped them out a little bit, right?
Not only that, but look at all these chicks you'd have falling all over you.
Oh, I know.
Chicks and guys. A lot more guys.
Asking me for information on updates. I know, it'd be crazy.
Yeah.
That one was a carload of 14-year-olds, though. It was a little little scary.
Real, thankfully. Yeah, that was
there. It is. BitTorrent. That's the thank you, Pulse Hope.
Oh, okay. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's I was drawing a blank. So
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's positive. And I think the last time that they did the sync or downloaded the whole chain, I think it took 5 or 6 days, maybe 7, to sync up. So it could really take that long until, when they started it yesterday or the day before, so we're 2 days in, we probably have four days at least left.
Right.
I think it's a full 2 terabytes of information. Is what I remember Richard saying, something about the size of it would be about 2 terabytes. So yeah, it's a long download, long process. Once they, get that running up and running and up to date, then they can probably start banging on it and see if everything took like it was supposed to, all the updates that they've introduced. And then I could see a release probably within, a week, maybe, after the chain syncs, for them to take time to make sure. Now, obviously, if they find problems, it won't. That's in a perfect scenario, that if everything gets downloaded and taken care of, all the updates are successful, then I could see it probably a week after that. If they find bugs or problems, then, more delays.
Right. Now put this into perspective for me. I mean, how much are you caring or worrying about V3 being out? I mean, because, I really am just waiting for the real thing. We've had multiple test nets at this point. It'll be cool that it is. To me, though, all that, I guess it's good no matter what, that there's development being done. It's better than not knowing anything at all. But I guess to me, it's like short-term price action. I'm excited about it. I mean, call me crazy, but that's what
you do have the short-term price action, but I'm excited to get in there and play around. I want to get in there, try things out, know what's going on, so that the second it goes live, I'm not fumbling and hitting wrong buttons. I know exactly where I want to go if I want to place liquidity, I know exactly where I want to go if I want to do one-sided staking on PulseX. If I want to allocate to a validator or whatever to stake towards a validator, that's another problem too that ETH has right now is they still haven't released the Shanghai update that allows people to unstake their locked hex that are with the validators right now. So we're kind of still waiting for that too. I know at one point the number was 32 ETH for Ethereum to be considered a validator. Richard had said at one point that you had to have 32 million Pulse to be a validator. Now, at the prices that they were at that point, it's really not that much money. So I don't know if that number will change as far as that goes, but the Shanghai update that was coming out on ETH 2.0 was the update that would allow them to unlock their coins that are currently locked up in the validators. So, we still don't have that. And I don't think, unless they've fixed it on their own, I don't think that's going to be a part of PulseChain until it's released by Ethereum developers. So that's another thing. But I'm excited. I want the price action. I also want to go in there and play around. Like I said, I want to know what I'm doing on day one when it happens, so that I don't make stupid mistakes with real things.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a lot of I mean, even outside of the PulseChain ecosystem, I mean, there's a lot of bullish things happening in DeFi this year. We have that update to Uniswap is what, April, like at the end of April or something.
End of April, beginning of May. Yeah. And that will open up the open source on V3.
Right.
And V3 allows the one-sided liquidity. So basically you can set a limit order without really setting a limit order, So
yeah, it's going to be a good year for all things DeFi. I think, we talked about it last week. Yeah. I think, I think a main catalyst for going into the next bull run will be partially DeFi 2.0. I mean, like there were so many terrible things in 2022 that were everything but DeFi that I think it makes a hell of a comeback, and there's a lot of people doing their part. So we'll keep our eyes peeled for all of those things.